In my last video, I talked about how important it was that the women of the family were also the healers of the family. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about that today and also show you a really cool object that we have in our collection. So women would have had recipes handed down not only of foods but also of medicines. This was something that would have been passed around amongst women because doctors weren't plentiful and they were very expensive. So you would have tried home remedies as much as you could. Now, the book that I'm going to show you is a 1737 combination cookbook and medicine book. Here is the Compleat Housewife. I want to point out two things about the title. First is that complete is spelled L-E-A-T, and that is an old spelling of the word complete as we would use it, with the additional meanings of accomplished or quintessential. So this book would have been marketed as all you would need to be a successful housewife. And here in the word housewife, we have what's called a long S. It's really common in early American writing. So right now it's open to the page that it's usually open to. It lives normally in our 1740s sitting room, but recently has been in our 2020 exhibition on the women of Little Compton. So now I'm going to show you some of the pages that they found important to mark, and you'll see that I'm going to touch it with my fingers, and that is accepted practice. I can feel the delicate pages if they were to tear, so I can actually be more careful without it. So if you have old documents, freshly washed hands with soap and water, not hand sanitizer, is an entirely safe way to touch those. So here you can see their bookmark, and they have check marks next to hysterical water and a stone water. So I'm going to read those to you now. Under hysterical water, take zetuary, roots of lavage, which we have in our colonial revival herb garden, seeds of wild parsnips of each 2 ounces, roots of single peony 4 ounces, and we have peony in our garden, of mistletoe of the oak 3 ounces, myrrh 1/4 of an ounce, castor 1/2 ounce. Beat all these together and add to them 1/4 pound of dried millipedes. Pour on these 3 quarts of mugwort water and 2 quarts of brandy. Let them stand in a close vessel 8 days, then distill it in a cold still pasted up. You may draw off 9 pints of water, sweeten it to your taste, and mix all together. This is an excellent water to prevent fits or to be taken in faintings. And stone water, you take beans in a pod and cut them in small pieces. Fill a good part of an ordinary still with them, and put to them 2 good handfuls of yarrow, which we have in our garden, and distill them together in a cold still. Let the party drink a glass when in pain, or at the changes of the moon. And they have changes of the moon underlined, indicating that they would have used this for menstrual problems. And their other bookmark in this section is here with a check mark next to clear the eyes. It's underneath to draw a rheum from the eyes, and rheum was like a watery eye, which would have affected your vision and therefore your ability to contribute to the house, so they would have wanted to treat that. This says, take the white of hen's dung, dry it very well, and beat it to powder. Sift and blow it into the eyes when the party goes to bed. 1 out of 5 pages of the book, or 20%, are medical recipes. Early American women were expected to treat everything from a headache to dysentery. Some of their remedies are still used today, like taking chamomile in a tea for a calming effect. Others have been found to be toxic. Do not use herbal remedies of any kind without consulting your physician first.